I was talking about the Older Millennial's arrest. A couple of days ago, the Older Millennial got arrested on an outstanding warrant in Pinellas County, Florida, I believe. It is my understanding that as of right now, 11:30 a.m. Central Time on Sunday, June 29th, he's still behind bars because of the nature of the warrant and whatnot and what have you. And in talking about the incident, I said what I had heard happened and what I read happened, which included that he allegedly was hiding out in an Airbnb in Florida, still making content, but hiding out, and that somebody from social media allegedly was able to determine which Airbnb he was in based on the videos that he was, the background of the videos he was making, and notified law enforcement, and that law enforcement allegedly engaged with him at between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and allegedly he resisted arrest and was allegedly tased. And I used allegedly in all of that. And this guy comes in and says, he didn't get tased, you moron. He resisted without violence, which means no taser. Are you familiar with an arrest report? And can you read? Because if you are familiar with an arrest report and you can read, then you would have found this and you would have read it, which is the Older Millennial's arrest report. And if you read in the center column or the center paragraph in all caps there, you'll read what the officers wrote about their interaction. Your affiant was attached to a wanted person call and positioned in the backyard of the adjoining property. While officers were attempting to make contact with the wanted subject at the front door, the defendant came out the backyard a couple of times with unknown means. The second time the defendant came out the backyard, I looked over the fence and gave challenge to the defendant to show me his hands and to get on the ground a couple of times while in full City of Clearwater police uniform, to include cap with a Clearwater patch. The defendant denied commands and instead turned around and started to walk away from the officers. The defendant was then tased before being placed into custody without further incident. The without violence was because he calmly turned around and walked away because he was in another yard. But he was tased. You fucking moron. Now, I shouldn't call you a moron. Maybe it's the case where you really can't read and you couldn't read that paragraph where the officer in Pinellas County wrote in his report that he tased the Older Millennial, Joe Red. Is there anything else I could help you with today, or are you just struggling with this one thing?